Who's that?
Denzo's.
Where does it go? Dog barks. Leave me alone, Marge.
Bad rap Beanie, Margie.
Beanie got a bad rap, Marge.
Good boy, Beanie. Good boy, Beanie.
There, that's better. Yep. It's this time of day, man. Wind's coming up.
When the winds come through.
Ooh, I can feel it in my bones. Hello, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hioka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Today's been kind of a... It's been a good day. I'm just super tired. I've been up since 4:30. When I worry, man, I spend most of my time when I got something weighing on me, just transmuting fear, just not being in the fear. And that's not easy to do for anybody ever. I've gotten pretty good at it. It's just, it takes a lot out of you not to be in fear. You know it? To just tell yourself all the time to be in the present moment and things are okay. And turn it over to God. Oh, I'm not sleeping, man. All these astrologers and stuff are talking about how people are connecting in the dream world and dreams are really significant. And dreams, that's how it usually is for me. I love my dream state, man. I get crabby when I don't get to tap into my dream state. I look at our dream state as our spirits reconciling in higher dimensions. You know, looking at things just from a different perspective. And when I don't get the opportunity to do that, I feel very disconnected. And that last couple nights, I wake up in the middle of the night, because Tucker had to go to the vet today, and he has a lump on his side. And when dogs get old, they usually get fatty tumors. Sometimes they're cancerous, and that's why you take them to the doctor to make sure they're okay. And he's gonna be he was born November 2010, so he'll be 12 this year. And he his little system was compromised from being born into a puppy mill and stuff like that. But he's in good health, and the vet doctor said that his heart's good, and he does need his teeth cleaned. So they're booked out. They're booked out quite some time, and it just so happened that an opportunity came up while we were there that he can have it done on Monday, and today's Thursday. So instead of him, his bad teeth getting worse, we get taken care of. So, but, and I was telling the vet, I was like, I know they're all good, we all die, we all go to head and stuff, but I love them so much, and it's a lifelong commitment, and I just don't want them to be in any pain or anything like that. So, I got in the solution. And then when I was waiting to see the vet, I was talking to my father figure, because you don't always get, not everybody gets really rad parents. So we always have an opportunity to find examples in our lives that we choose for ourselves. And Mr. Iskion, this July, we'll have known each other. He's the first friend I made at Offutt Air Force Base. He was a civilian, worked for the heater crew. And, and he reminds me how to stay grounded. He's Virgo, right? And I don't got a lot, so I'm all over the place because I don't have Earth in. So I'm just woo, kind of just, and so it takes a lot of extra effort for me to stay grounded and focused, and not spin out constantly, and talking with him today, he was saying some of the same things that I've been talking on here, which to me is verification. It's verification because I have my belief systems, and when other people are saying them to me, that means we're lining up, and more people. I said, Mr. Iska has never liked this before. You know, like, because something happens, I get stressed out. My body feels, the best way I can describe it to feel is like you got car chargers, you got those jump start, you know, or paddles, or even those. But I feel like that's what my system, my endocrine system is so fried from those freaking anthrax vaccines that I'm just in a heightened state, and I always got to keep myself level. And he was talking today about how, like, last night I woke up and I was getting heady, you know, fearful. It's always about fear for me, and what, you know, but acknowledging it, not letting it rule me, and getting in a solution. Because so many people get stuck in fear, they never do anything and move forward in life because they're always afraid to take that step. And thank goodness God's given me this courage that has always helped me to be afraid, yet have the courage to take that first step. So I keep moving in life. I don't know if I'm moving forward. Maybe I'm moving laterally. Who knows? But I'm moving, you know. But I look around every day. I see people doing the same things that they did 20 years ago. It's like we're supposed to have, as spiritual beings, having a human experience, and people are choosing to have the same experiences over and over and over and over and over again with all the other stuff that they could be doing. And my friend is going through something right now, and he was talking about how he was waking up and, you know, was having the same experience that I'm having with the fear, feeling powerless, overwhelmed, and just having to turn it over. Just not, you know, just, it's taken years of practice. It can be done. So just when I was talking to him, I was like, you know, I said, it's really interesting that you and I are going through the similar emotions, yet the circumstances are different. And I look around and I see other people in the world, and a lot of people are having congruent experiences, pretty unpleasant experiences. Yeah. And the way things are changing so freaking fast right now, it's I don't know, man. Things are like, I had an experience today at Wally World. It's like hit or miss when I go to that place. All I needed was flour. So I grabbed my flour, and I'm like walking through. Good thing I got outdoor cat food yesterday, because there ain't nothing on the shelf for cat and ways of cat food at Wally World, man. That looked weird. I don't know if I've seen it like that yet. I've seen it like sparse, but like nothing. That was kind of weird. But everybody's experiencing that all over the place. I've been talking about that for 5 years now. We've been waiting for this stuff to happen. Now it's happening. It is kind of discouraging to listen to Joni Patry talk about freaking the possibility of world war with that kind of energy coming up. And what'd she say? When did she say? July? I think it was that. And if it doesn't happen by one of these months in this summer, then like, I can't remember what she said. It's like at all. But we're always with other people in charge of anything. We're always at the mercy. It's whatever they feel like and whatever they're gonna do that day. You know, a bunch of rich people, because rich people got all the good ideas. Here in New Mexico, man, everybody's all mad because the governor, she paid out like some dude. She got like drunk and like grabbed some guy's crotch. Right? She did Donald Trump said she actually did it. She's a governor of the state. And then somebody just found out that the law office that represents her just paid out another $79,000 for legal expenses. And everybody's like, what the fuck are these legal expenses? Why are we paying for this shit? You know, the whole world, it's like the agent, it's so funny. You see the love and lighters, you know, that are just like, oh, be nice, be nice. It's all about love and light. And I'm just like, no, dude, I've been nice. See, that's the thing, is I've been nice for decades. We're fucking past niceties. We're past it. You know, so when people get confronted on the street, you know, and I'm not talking in a violent way. I don't believe in violence at all. I don't think people should put hands on each other. But rest assured, somebody puts their hand on me, they're gonna they're gonna remember that they not to do that again. Yeah. So I was at Wally World today and walking up to the self checkout, you know, and this guy was like, I came from this way and he was coming from this way. And I thought he was going to go to this register because we like got there at the same time, but I was ahead of him. And there's this other guy here. There wasn't really a line. There was just people coming from every direction. And he came to this register. And then so I went up to this one. And the guy, he was older. I don't know, just a little short brown dude. Freaking, I don't know, in his 60s. I don't know. And he just like started just, I guess it's, you know, like being a jerk about it. Like, I cut in front of him and took his spot or something, right? And I was like, well, that's how you see it. And he's like, oh, you must be a Republican. I'm like, what the fucking kind of stupid bullshit comment is that? I said, I ain't no fucking Republican. I ain't no fucking Democrat. It's a fucking circle of greed, and you dipshits fucking follow it. And then you get mad at something, and then that's your dig? Seriously? Chivalry's dead in Taos, New Mexico. Man, I swear to God, living in this fucking town is like living in the 90s. Like, these people, man, it's just like, oh, maybe I should have let him go because his shelf life is way fucking shorter than mine. Way shorter. I'm just sick of these little fucks. You know it? And I'm not going to keep my mouth closed anymore about it. I've had to keep my mouth closed the shit that I've had to take. I've been escorted in the middle of freaking meetings by sheriff officers because they didn't like my kind. I'm talking nonsense, man. The bullshit that I've had to tolerate in my life because of misogynistic fucking assholes, and now the country's being ruined by them. And the thing of it is like, I can pick them out of a crowd, and I could be with somebody in the presence with somebody for a few minutes. Ask them a few questions and pretty much have the sum total of their whole existence on this planet Earth and who they are. And mostly people that are for themselves, it's obvious they're only for themselves. They don't care about anybody else. Those are the people, I don't even see them in my world. I'm trying to create a world where those people don't exist. The self before service, those people, because they're everywhere. They're everywhere. I've been watching this show. I watch TV shows. I don't got Netflix. I got Hulu and YouTube is all, and me and Mom watch our DVDs, but I don't watch TV anymore. But TV and all that used to play such a significant role in my life because I always used it as a distraction. Like I could live vicariously through the subconsciousness of these characters and stuff like that, right? And so I use it as a distraction because my life has been hard for most of it. It's just been a very hard life. I've had a very, very difficult life. And so I just, you know, oven by my own self, too much quiet, too much, you know, I got time to think. I'm a thinker. And I don't like thinking all the time, so I appreciate a nice distraction every now and again. And I believe for every TV show that exists, there's a universe dedicated entirely to that consciousness. You know it? Isn't that a trip? But I don't know. I can go on about the multi-universe, multi-dimensions, all about it. Just goes on and on and on. But I was telling I was watching this show. That's what I was watching this show, and called Woke, and it's the second season. And there's like, they're in San Francisco and they have these philanthropists that are, you know, trying to help the homeless and, what do they call them? Unhoused or something like that, you know? Because, like, any place, any big city, now, even in Taos, we got a bad problem with it here. Any place where there's, like, a fucking mountain or, something that somebody wants to look at, it's like, that automatically jacks up the price for anything. And people can't find places to live around here because the freaking asshole freaking renters, they just turn everything into Airbnbs. So you got people that it's just like, oh, I can make freaking $2,000, $3,000 a month and on 2-3 night stays, overnight stays and stuff like that. That's a lot, that's a lot easier than providing safety and security for a household for an indefinite amount of time, because people care more about money than people, and that's what we're seeing every day. I keep hearing about doing what people can do to heal and to help and all this. So we'll see if they do it, man. We'll see what they come up with, right? Because here it's going to start the cold season, so you got to shut down the world again. Because if you did it once, you can do it twice. And if you did it twice, just keep doing it every year. And then that way people don't got to do exactly what they get paid to do. Yeah, that'll fix a lot of stuff. As the cracks, things are gonna get gnarly, man. People are really gonna have to step up and really help people, or things. It's just gonna get so bad, and people aren't gonna, because they're so wrapped up and they're so caught up in their own stuff that it's gonna be gnarly, Ma. It's gonna be gnarly. But we'll be okay, because it's always been just you and me. So when people pretty much freaking turn their back on you in society, it makes it nicer. You don't got to worry about other people as much, huh? When I was talking to Mr. Iski today, he was talking about how I said, that's what I was talking about earlier, is I feel like my system, my body is connected to an electrical source, and I'm just all in, like I'll be okay. I'll be fine for days, for like, I'll have like weeks that things are okay, and then something happens and there's stress induced into my body, and it's just like, it's like amps are added. So I'm just keyed up is the best way I can describe it. And he was talking about how he's been doing a lot of reading on the fungi and psilocybin, and how it retrains your body to respond. Because I was telling Mom, I said, you know how it's like fight or flight? People have fight or flight in them, that when something happens, either you run away or you fight. I said, Mom, I don't have fight or flight anymore. I just have fight. I don't have flight, flight. I just have fight. And I wish I never would have enlisted in the Air Force. I wish I never would have done that. I wish I never would have given him 6 years for a college degree. Because it ruined me. And you know what the ironic thing is when I was in AA, I had a sponsor, my first sponsor. Her grandson went in, had a bunch of shots and stuff, and it changed his freaking mind. Like, it altered his chemistry too, right? And see, because I know about actual science and how things work, and I know about my body, that I can understand, because they had those freaking anthrax vaccines. I have the MSDS. Well, now they call it the safety data sheet. It's not the MSDS anymore. But I had it. I got it saved someplace. I got the batch number. They put formaldehyde in that shit. And you got 2 at a time. You got 8 in 4 months. 2 at a time. That's 40 milliliters of freaking formaldehyde. And that's what fucking fries your endocrine system. And the lady that injected me, because I was like, man, that is the most painful freaking injection I've ever had, and I've had a lot of shots. She's like, that's because they store it in formaldehyde. For storage. For shelf life. It was an illegal deal. They weren't supposed to be giving it to people. They didn't have permission. But me and a bunch of other people in my freaking era, 2003 time frame. You know, after I was in Operation Bullshit, it's all about making money, you know. But you can't argue with fucking people that profit from the system, you know. It's like trying to tell sports fans that freaking dedicate their lives to tours of stadiums and all this bullshit that it's all rigged, you know. You can't mess with people's ideologies. They're not going to see truth because they don't fucking care to see it. Because they want to continue to go and do the stuff that they want to do without it disrupting their conscience and them feeling bad about what they're doing. You know? I know. I didn't want to buy into. I never wanted to go to college. My brother is like, that's what responsible people. My brother was like a Alex P. Keaton. Yeah, he is that. You know, and if I was like him, you know, I would his advice would be beneficial, but I'm not. And he tells me things like, get rid of your dogs and put mom in a home and go back to work because you got retirement to think about it. And I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, what world does he live in? And, you know, you live in Sacramento since you're like 18 years old, you're 50. You know, you always work for the state, you know, because you know that it's just easy to be, that's what, it's just a cush, kick back, easy peasy thing. It's like $156,000 a year. And for writing letters all day, because that's all lawyers do. It's just, here's bullshit letters, give it to them. No, we're going to respond to with this bullshit. You know, laws, all this, it's all made up reindeer games, man. And when you let freaking egos take control, we got self-will run riot all over the planet. That's why things are going to continue to freaking plummet, because people are just gonna keep doing what they want to do because they don't got any discipline, man. They don't. How many people freaking got sick and died in the last 2 years? Basically because they couldn't keep the fucking spoon out of their mouth. Just that. Obesity has been a freaking bigger deal in this country for decades. I don't remember, do kids go, do they have PE class anymore? I don't even know. But when I was in high school, like, we had to do, like, jump rope. I hated it, man. I hated this stuff because I was so self-conscious, you know? And everybody else had, like, you know, like, we were just so poor. It just was very uncomfortable. It just, participating in things for me just wasn't fun because it just, I don't know, people always had shit to say about the holes in my shoes and stuff like that. You know, the condition of my clothes and anyway, so but thank goodness Miss Menifee frickin' drove into the importance of fitness and health, you know. And then when I was in the Air Force, I had a bunch of fat dudes that told me I needed to go to the gym and work out because I wasn't within weight standards, but neither were there. But I never saw them at the gym. But there's always a bros club, a loophole. So you know, the rules. That's why I was like, dude, this world is fucked. I knew back in 2000 when I enlisted because I was old when I went in. I was 25, 26. I wasn't an 18-year-old little kid. Didn't have any other. You know, I was a grown-up that didn't have any other options. And so, you know, they couldn't keep me out of there. But when I saw that it's just all of it is just bullshit. All of it. The recruiter's like, well, don't base the military Air Force on basic training because that's not the real military. And then don't base it on tech school because that's not real either, you know. But your first duty station, I couldn't even base that as the real military because it was all a pony show. The shit that they would do, man. The shit that these fucking egomaniacal officers would do. They had, like, they would take people from different duty stations, like from our shop and from this shop and for this shop, right? They would take like 3 people from each shop, and then they'd have them go out and they'd have them stand there by the runway, right? And wait for some asshole fucking colonel or for some dickhead fucking general to take off. Maybe the guy will look out the window, but it don't matter because you've taken fucking 3 people out of, you know, 7, 8 work centers, so you have 20 people out there, you know, The guy was supposed to take off at 8, but he was going to play a quick round of golf, so they didn't leave until 10. But you got 20 people freaking standing out, not doing their job because he may or may not look at him fucking wave. I mean, that's the bullshit fucking that's what the military is. It's a lot of that. And a lot of these guys that are in it, they go home and they kick, I sit down, they freaking, oh, kid, bring me a beer. Daddy worked so hard today. Oh, wow. Just, whoa. It's just, oh, the grind. But the reality of it is I worked in these, in maintenance. And the fact of it is, they don't really fucking work very hard at all. Really. And if you think about how many days off military members get, they only work 10 days a month. They got 30 days leave, boom, every year, off the top, right? And you work on a military base, and they also have 15 federally recognized holidays over and above the leave. So usually those are recognized and like on a Monday, and usually the base commander will give the shop, just go down to a skeleton crew, and then we'll give you the day off on Friday too. So that's 15 federal days off, 30, so that's 45 days, and then for a down day, for most every day off of those 15 federal holidays you get. So that's that they work 10 months a year. And there's a lot of barbecues, there's a lot of fucking potlucks. No wonder they're fucking all shrubs that are just bursting out, man. The readiness of the freaking United States military is shit. It's embarrassing. When they like even the military brand, they talk about OPSEC. I have my airman's manual still, and then you had this little black sachet case that you had to carry around everywhere in basic with your UCMJ manual, Uniform Code of Military Justice. It's just a book of bullshit, because if you know the right people and do the right things, because you're not supposed to cheat on spouses, but that's very, very prevalent in the military. You're not supposed to do, well, anyway, there's a lot of stuff that you're not supposed to do, but people do it all the time. You're not supposed to drink while you're in Saudi Arabia, but we used to bring back equipment all the time that they had booze stashed everywhere. So that the idea that these rules and policies and procedures are there for some bullshit reason, but the thing of it is, I think it's basically they want to weed out the do-gooders so they can draw in to do their nefarious bullshit. I don't know why I picked the Air Force, because I hated fucking Top Gun. Those flyboys are dickheads, man. But women love boys in a fly suit. I'm just like, man, they don't fucking work on the planes themselves. They fly them. I could fly a plane. I could. Give me the opportunity. I could fly one of those jets. No problem. I can fucking fly. I can operate. I can drive anything. Anything. When the big ship's coming, I'm always saying, let me drive the big ones. Let me drive the big ships. You know what? It's just kind of a knack I have. It's just an aptitude, But the thing of it is, God, man, that's all that they do. You think those fucking flyboys do their own life? They used to have these lounges and stuff for them to hang out in. They just, the accommodations that people get for the few, that is what drives me crazy. That's what drives me crazy. Hey, Nate, what's up? Hi, Jessica. If you didn't shower after the gym, the highest grade you could get. See, and you know what? That's another thing, Nathan. I didn't shower because I liked girls, because I knew that I was attracted to girls, and I always felt like that was not appropriate. I didn't want to see them. I was very bashful. Yeah, I thought they were pretty. Don't mean I wanted. Doesn't mean I was. No. So I failed PE. And they didn't take it in consideration when I was in 6th grade, I went from a school that had like maybe 300 people in it in the whole school. And I talk about my 6th grade year. It was hell for me. My 12th year, I was 12. And then I had to go to a school called Flamson, and showers were mandatory. Where like they would stand there and like watch and make sure that you went in and rinsed. And it's just like that. No, I failed. I wouldn't do it because I didn't think it was appropriate. If I had my own place, my own thing like that, if I have my own, that would have been a thing. But I'm glad that they don't do that anymore. You know. Now it's just fucking God. Now I don't even know what they're doing in schools because I don't really believe what the media says. But the only kids that I know that are like school age are my nieces, and I never know what's going on. I think they go to like those magnet schools, so they're not even tarnished by. Yeah. But I would hate to be a kid in school these days, man, with all this transgender stuff. I'm glad that I grew up when I did because I never did anything to freaking change myself, you know? Like, if I would have, like, was a tomboy like I was when I was a tomboy, they would have freaking for surely had me freaking on male hormones and stuff like that. Gray kidding? Stan Lee's up there. You can't get Stan Lee. Here, you go up top. You go up top. No, still get up there with Stan Lee. Oh, this is going to be bad. He don't get up there. Okay, he's up on top. Stanley, he and Stanley, like, Stanley, he likes Stan Lee, but Stanley is less tolerant of him, and he's sleeping on the chair. Anyway, it don't matter. But, I think kids should be kids as long. I don't care what toys they play with. And one doesn't make them one or another either. You know? I don't care. And another weird thing that kids are doing these days, another show I watch is The Good Doctor. And they had an episode 2 weeks ago, or last week's episode with body modifications, where they're like slicing their fingers and putting magnets and shit like that, and then so they can like make things move and dance. I'm like, dude, you can do that without it probably if you just try. I can do that. I got freaking ability of telekinesis. I just showed it to my homie last week because I do it every now and again just to see if I can still do it. I get it from Mom. You know, I don't want people to freaking mutilate themselves. I don't want them hurting themselves to modify themselves to make. God don't make junk, man. And people really need to stop with the freaking change. It's not going to. How you feel about yourself is always an inside job. It never has anything to do with any of this. When people feel bad about themselves, when I feel bad about themselves, I eat my feelings. I like a lot of sweet stuff when I'm imbalanced. Actually, to be honest, what I really like to do is get wasted, but that just sends me into the mires of darkness, and it's not my life. It's not just my life. This incarnation is not just about me. I was reminded today that, you know, I'm not here to look after Mom. Ain't nobody's going to look out for her on this planet. You know, I am scared for parents that are bringing kids into this planet, you know, and then they got to give them all the tools that they need to teach them how to navigate safely, you know, and hopefully in some sort of integrity through this life. And is that happening? I don't know. People just keep killing each other out there all over the place. I just see violent stuff. There's just a lot of violent stuff in the world. But that really tripped me out, how this kid is freaking cutting himself open and putting, you know, magnets and modify. Dude, this is a closed system. Okay? We have everything we need to keep this fully operational as long as you don't freaking poison it too much with too much of anything. Too much of anything that makes you feel good turns into something detrimental. That's marijuana. That's alcohol. That's prescription. It's anything. You know, when people don't have a life that is exciting or not, or comfortable. I should not say exciting. I don't know where exciting come from, but a lot of times people have very uncomfortable lives and they like to do things so that they can escape that uncomfortability instead of learning tools on how to navigate through the uncomfortability. Because ultimately what happens is that stuff, booze, whatever, it comes to a point it don't work. You ever drink yourself sober? If you drink enough, it will happen one day. Sucks, man. Sucks. My life totally just always revolved for years. When I was in self-will, when I was in my ego, and I didn't care about nobody else, that's all I did. Just good time. Everything was a good time. It's just all about having a good time, right? And I kept doing that, and I just living every day the same, over and over. And I realized one day, it's like, Marge, one day your shelf life is going to expire. And you're going to look back. There's a movie I watched when I was in my early 20s called, it's a movie, I don't like Meryl Streep anymore. She's just another wicked witch in Hollywood as far as I'm concerned. They all sign in blood as far as I'm concerned. But this movie was Al Brooks and Meryl Streep called Defending Your Life. And when I saw that, I was like, that's how I believe that it is. And then somebody made a movie about it. That when you die, that you go through the review of your whole entire life, you know, and basically, you know, you're defending your life. Did you live as a decent person, or did you just go around doing what you wanted to do in the old time, you know? All that stuff, man. Drives me crazy. There was a freaking Corvette. I've never been able to stand Corvettes. I can't. They're ugly cars. They've always been ugly cars. And the freaking kind of people that drive them. I do. I'll generalize. I clump people that drive cars, certain kind of cars. I don't give a shit about what I drive. I drive whatever God gives me. You know, now we drive a minivan, and because a big red truck died. But, you know, I haven't, like, been attached by a car that I drive. I used to. I had one that I really liked, but it got totaled. And so I'm like, it's just a car. I'm not going to do that anymore. Why am I going to, you know? It's silly, you know? People put more effort into their vehicles than they do their family members. Out there washing their cars, making sure their cars are serviced, you know? Don't mind the wife. Don't ever think of the wife, but make sure that truck's serviced all the time, right? Poor girls. Anyway, so what was I talking about? The music just stopped and my train of thought just derailed. So, yeah, I just lost it. Oh, about having cars. And when I was leaving Wally World today, I was already fired up because that asshole. Because the chick was like, I don't know, she was like co-signing his shit. The lady, the checkout lady that just points at registers for people to go. I mean, that's like her rule in life. She freaking was co-signing her shit. And I was just like, you know, as a fucking woman, dude. As a fucking woman. You know, shut the fuck up. It just, God, people are just sucky. But hopefully, maybe I can make a life where I can just have my food delivered and I never have to go to this store again. Wouldn't that be cool, Mom? I see these lives that these people create for them, Mom. I don't know how they do it. They just go around doing whatever they want, whenever they want, all the time. They just don't got any kind of discipline. Wouldn't that get old? Yeah, it would. You know? It's like, screw you, Mom. I'm going to go up to Colorado today. There's a There's a sandwich on the counter. Note to freaking eat it. There's a sandwich on the counter. She won't remember to read the note. Oh, finding the humor, huh, Ma? We've been doing that a long time, yeah? Long time, find the humor. Making fun of freaking things that people are like, you don't make fun of that. I'm like, no, you don't fucking make fun of that. I make fun of anything, man. It is free reign. I only like making fun of people with stuff that they control, that they can have control over. You know, where they choose to take the lazy, slothful way, right? But they're starting to come into their fitness, Ma. Where people are going to start caring more about themselves, which is going to have to happen in order for the planet to change, because unfit people don't give a shit about other people. Name one. Anybody. That's one of those. Go name one person that doesn't take care of themselves, that just so genuinely, authentically cares about their fellow man. They don't exist. That's why I'm so freaking out about freaking people just going out and getting some fresh air and getting a walk. I'm so adamant about it, because you do things to make yourself feel better, without the expectation of anybody else making you feel better. You start doing that. You do a little bit every day. You start feeling better. You start having some more and more self-respect, and before you know it, you want better things for other people. I would love it if anybody could just step up and just prove me wrong on that. Love it. I'll stop talking. I'll stop doing videos. It's just not how it is. It's a fact. When people take care of themselves and feel better, they act better. And look around. There's a whole lot of people that are not acting better. You know? So, I'm still on my hunt of healing. We're stepping in the age of healing. I've done. I am so much. I have healed a lot since last year. I just, as stress comes up, I just think that is the progression of the fucking nasty elixir that's in me. I think I look at it as a positive that more people are gonna have experiences like this, so that we can come together and relate, and I can share with them what I do to become less edgy. I don't like being too serious about stuff, man. I go 0 to freaking livid like that. I gotta keep in a freaking positive mindset, you know. And anger, righteous or otherwise, isn't gonna do any good for people like me. It just freaking, you know, make the potential of cause of death more about freaking more potential. Just my arm hurts right now. I'm getting it's throbbing right now. It really freaking throbs. It hurts all the time. My whole body hurts all the time. But I am a lot better than I was, just even going to the chiropractor, man. I have a lot to be grateful for. I really do. Oh, and then last night, the episode that I watched on The Good Doctor is that they had a potluck, and then like the staff all started hallucinating and everything. And after determining what happened is that they made like sweet potatoes, and they used cumin, but that wasn't really cumin, it was mushrooms. Right? It was mushrooms, and then so all these people were all tripping on psilocybin. Now, psilocybin mushrooms are the fun mushrooms. Hi, Jason, good to see you. And meow to you. And when I was talking to Mr. Iski today, he was hearing about an article about how there are more and more people. Now, when I was in Oregon, they just legalized psilocybin in clinics, and I'm like, who the fuck is gonna want to like drive to a clinic and lay in a clinic environment and eat No. We gotta create. You gotta create an environment. You need to talk more of a shamans, type folks, because you ain't doing it right. With a freaking fern in back and a picture of the clouds on the no. us experienced folks. We used to. Heck, when I was growing up, we used to have my homie. He does Renaissance fairs up in Northern California still. He does those, and we used to have fry parties, hang out with Alice and freaking and go all out like he's an Aries like me, and he's a little bit older than me, so I mean he had more experience, but so I drew on his experience. But you can take a plastic bag, like a trash bag, and twist it 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 and twist it. And like you can wrap it with hangers and keep twisting it until you can't twist this thing anymore, until it's just like a solid, wrenchy, like knot. Okay? And then you hang it. Don't try this unless you're an adult. And then hang it from a hanger over a freaking a bucket of water, and then light it. And it's just it's visual and it's audio. and it drops, but it goes doo doo doo. It makes this really trippy sound. It sounds like and the tracers are fun too. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do. We used to eat freaking what do you call it? We used to eat dry ice, because they put dry ice in different parts of the rooms to make the smoke, and leave it up to your own imagination and stuff like that. They even had a room, but you had to walk out onto the property past this old burnt out trailer with freaking melted dolls and stuff like that, man. Creepy AF. And walk back there and walk out where they had, like, in this old barn, they had all these pictures of just, they're just fry pictures of like Salvador Dali stuff and things like that, But you had to venture out past the freaking burned out trailer. I never had a bad trip. See, bad trips come from bad places. And when you know about stuff, you don't have to be afraid about stuff, Most of the time when people see their what they see in the reflection of themselves, that's based on how they act, That's something that people got to rectify within themselves, and I'd love to help people rectify this stuff in themselves, man. I would love it. I think I'm going to hang out with the fun guy tonight. I saw Mr. Itzke. I said, Mr. Itzke, I have some. I was going to take them, but then when Sassy was declining, I didn't want to do it, and then something happened when I'm in, hanging out with the fun guy. That ain't so fun. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Things are pretty okay. I'm not going to sleep tonight anyway. I think I'm going to hang out with the fun guy. So, yeah. The Lord knows the astrology's right for it, isn't it? Tomorrow's the full moon. Is it tomorrow or Saturday? Depends on where you are on the planet, I suppose. But I don't know. That's one thing that I've been really focusing on this week. I'm gonna wrap it up on this, because I've been running my mouth too much. Is that with the stress about Tucker? It's like I knew that Tucker. I know. It's like I knew that he was okay. I just need somebody to tell me sometimes. So I gotta draw on other people's faith. And that's why it's so important, that I'm trying so hard to find my like-minded, my same freak tribe, whatever you want to call it. And the thing of it is people don't understand is that you don't gotta. I don't think my tribe members are people that are like me. I think they're people that are completely different than me. Because I know me. I don't need to know people that are just like me. I know me. That's fine. I appreciate me. That's cool. At the same time, I'm here to learn. And I learn through other people, whether it's right for me, because I listen to their experience, their life. Sometimes I try things that have worked for them. Okay, it works for them. It doesn't work for me. Sometimes things do work. But that's what this life is about, is having human experiences. Mr. Risky verified that today. He lost both his parents. He's older than me. I said, Mr. Risky, I said, I hope by the time I'm your age, I've learned these, he's like, because he's talking about how he doesn't react and respond how he used to. And I said, well, I hope by the time I'm your age that I learn these lessons that I get there. Because I still respond and I still react. And he's like, well, because I was there, I still lived there when his mom passed away and I went to the funeral. But I think his dad died. No, his dad died. I can't remember if his dad died before. No, it was before I left. Right? But I went and I got a bunch of pictures with him and stuff like that and took of him and sent to Mr. Risky and stuff, right? But he has sisters, and one of his sister was like, when his mom went downhill, it was just too much. She didn't want to participate. But then when Dad was starting to fade, and the appointments, she wanted to participate more, and he's like, no, you had your chance, you had your chance, and you didn't take it. So we got this. We're fine. It's an honor to be able to, I look at it that way, and I know not everybody has really great parents. I that's why I don't have a relationship with my dad, is because they neither of them would. I couldn't have one with both of them. It's like my parents when I was growing up. It's like they always played each other off each other. All this stuff, all those books that they said don't put kids in, none of that. No, neither of my parents read any of that shit. Calling, mom getting called a trashy tramp in the middle of the parking lot at Denny's. No, there's great deal of lack of respect there. So I was getting my 10-year sober coin, and if mom would have gone to see me get my chip because my dad and brother came out, that would have been the first time in over 20 years that all four of us would have been together. But mom didn't even want to go, so she didn't. That's the thing, is with all the experiences that we've had in life, most of the experience I've had of and by myself, because people just don't want to. They don't want to. It's just how it is. That's why I learned how to show up for people, is because I haven't had a lot of people show up for me. I've had people show up for me. I'm not saying I haven't had anybody show up for me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I haven't had a lot of people show up for me. And that is how I know the importance of showing up for people and being there for people. And even though you don't got the right words, but from people like me, just having somebody there is enough to give me courage that I need to handle and go through whatever situation comes in life. And, the older I get, I need that, man. I need it. I didn't need it when I was younger and mom had her stroke when I was 15. I didn't need it in a lot of time, the ugly stuff that I'd seen. I didn't need it. I could do it all by myself. I am learning my lesson.